Hey Internet, welcome to Worldview Everlasting, your favorite YouTube addiction, and this is your daily fix. So last night, the President of the United States addressed the entire country. I think that the below-linked article from The Federalist has about the best response to this, largely asking the question, where do we get as Westerners this idea that we can make these broad sweeping claims about Islam not being a threat to our civilization? Even though we certainly know that there are peaceful people who are Muslims, it just can't be denied historically that a deep dive into the Islamic tradition can provide a disaffected young person with ample justification for thinking that Western thought and political structures should be radically rejected. How is it that we can be so ignorant of this fact as Westerners that expert on everything Bill Nye, the climate change guy, was on TV in the last couple weeks insisting that the real connection to terrorism in the world is in fact global warming, making the argument that it is the water shortage in Syria that's caused young people to leave the farms and go to the cities, where without work they've become
disaffected youths, as we say,
who believe the system and economy has failed them and are therefore more easily recruited by terrorist organizations.
So you can make a very reasonable argument that climate change is not that indirectly related to terrorism.
Because there are droughts in the Middle East? Have you read history ever? You may not believe the Bible's true, but it is a catalog of droughts in the Middle East. To make the assumed connection that just because there's a water shortage in Syria right now, this is a sign of global warming, is a demonstration of complete ignorance. Commenter Love, Life, and Anarchy makes this excellent observation. I think the US bombing infrastructure is a more efficient way of creating economic depression. Maybe he doesn't know. Meanwhile, you can check out Forbes magazine about how NASA's monitoring of the polar ice caps has demonstrated that they are above the median since they began studying the phenomenon back in 1971. That is to say that while in 2008 to 2012 they were receding, they have to return to 5% beyond the mean.
This is fact-based.
Christians can of course disagree in how we interpret facts and in how we decide to love our neighbor in the world. But what I see going on behind all of this is the mass culture of Western civilization has an intense treasuring of this life that is driving not only our decisions but our discourse. Whereas the Lord Jesus Christ mentioned that moth and rust are always going to destroy, that thieves are always going to break in and steal, that laying up treasure on earth is basically a waste of time because you can't serve both God and mammon, both God and security in this life, we continue to listen to all of this rambling from the world driven by those who do clearly serve mammon, and we let what they're saying is the most important thing be the thing that drives what we think is the most important thing in our daily lives. There is probably not a that indirectly related connection between global warming and terrorism, but there is certainly a direct connection between being distracted by the fanaticism of the children of this age and the shrinking attendance at church. Lord have mercy. Rock on.